Good evening and thank you very much for joining us today, the 23rd of July, right here on Icutv News. To begin with, let's take a look at stories that are making headlines. FIC reports 3.5 billion in illicit financial flows in 2024. ZRA seizes 300 cases of smuggled Konyagi beer. Government committed to ending load shedding. And in international news, Air India crash victim's son says he received wrong remains. In our sports news, Vanessa Williams, 45, becomes the second oldest winner. Thank you very much for choosing to watch Icutv. To present the main news, my name is Emmanuel Zimba. Zambia's Financial Intelligence Center, FIC, has unveiled illicit financial flows of 3.5 billion US dollars, around 18.1 billion kwacha, in its 2024 trends report, significantly down from 13.58 billion kwacha in 2023. The majority of these transactions involve multinational enterprises, signaling focused attention on the international business activities. According to the report, 1,203 subjects were linked to illicit transfers, including 401 corporate entities and 802 individuals. Many of the implicated companies were newly established and exhibited no legitimate commercial activities that could justify the volume of transactions passing through their bank accounts. The FIC report also noted a 12.7% reduction in suspicious transaction reports, dropping from 10,298 in 2023 to 8,981 in 2024. The agency attributes the decline to strengthened compliance and oversight within the financial sector. Addressing the findings, Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Cooperation, Jack Mwimbo, hailed the trends as evidence of significant progress in Zambia's fight against financial crime, reaffirming the UPND's government's dedication to fostering a transparent and accountable financial system. The Zambia Revenue Authority, ZRA, has seized a truck carrying 300 cases of smuggled Konyagi beer concealed under sacks of carpenter, potatoes, and cloths. ZRA Senior Corporate Affairs Officer Robert Zawe said the truck, with registration number BLC 3320, was intercepted in Kapilimposhi on July 19, 2025 and escorted to Lusaka for further investigations. Mr. Zewa explained that investigations revealed a clear case of concealment, which is a form of smuggling. He says the transporter only declared items such as carpenter, potatoes, and motor vehicle rims, deliberately omitting the Konyagi beer. Mr. Zawe notes that the government could have lost 418,135 kwacha and 43 ngwe in tax revenue had the truck not been intercepted. In addition, ZRA's mobile enforcement teams remain on high alert and urged all transporters to ensure accurate declaration to avoid penalties and seizure of goods.
Zambia Revenue Authority has today seized 300 cases of Konyagi beer. This beer was concealed under the bags of carpenter, clothes, and motor vehicle rims. The interception was done in Kapili, and the truck had to be escorted to our enforcement center in Lusaka at Makeni Enforcement Yard. And as ZRA, we are saying we are not going to pay a blind eye to all forms of smuggling. And as you can see, this is a clear case of concealment. You can see how the Konyagi was packed and concealed under other various items that were in the same light truck. So this truck that you are seeing here will be seized together with the Konyagi beer. This beer, had we not intercepted, the government would have lost 418,000 kwacha in taxes. So as ZRA, we are sending a message to transporters that every time they are carrying goods from the borders, they need to make sure that the goods they are carrying are correctly declared at our borders so that they avoid, their vessel being seized together with the goods that have been smuggled into the country.
Ending load shedding and securing Zambia's energy future. He said economic growth remains central to the government's vision of delivering long-term prosperity, creating jobs, and supporting public service. President Hichilema notes that the 2024 drought has caused a severe energy shortfall, prompting load management measures that are affecting businesses and households. He discloses that the government has engaged energy traders and developers to identify bold solutions and eliminate barriers to energy project implementation. President Hichilema emphasizes the need for a resilient energy sector to drive national development and improve the lives of citizens. The Rural Electrification Authority, REA, has launched a 32.7 million kwacha initiative aimed at linking Chishi Island to the national grid through the deployment of an 11 kV submersible cable across Lake Bangweulu. The connection spans approximately 8 kilometers from Chiluvi Island and is being executed in collaboration with the Zambia Army Marine Unit. Zambia Army's specialized marine team, known for their expertise in underwater operation, is laying 32 kilometers of submarine cable designed to endure the lake's condition for more than 5 decades. The contract covers the full supply, delivery, and installation under a turnkey agreement. REA Acting Chief Executive Officer, Engineer Alex Mbumba, confirmed that the works are progressing smoothly and are expected to be completed within 3 weeks, with which each cable section taking about 4 days to install. Mr. Mbumba praises the Zambia Army for their precision and professionalism, noting that the complexity and safety consideration of such underwater work required the involvement of a highly qualified team. He says once completed, the project is expected to supply electricity to over 14,300 residents on Chishi Island and neighboring areas, boosting access to vital services like health, education, and governance. It is also anticipated to stimulate local entrepreneurship through the emergence of small businesses such as saloons, butcheries, fish storage facilities, and internet cafes, contributing significantly to the area's economic growth. The Zambia Defense Force is expected to produce approximately 29,600 metric tons of maize during the 2024-2025 farming season. This follows the directive from President Hakainde Hichilema, the Commander-in-Chief, urging the 3 military services to play a greater role in ensuring national food security, response to adverse impact of climate change during the previous season. As part of the national strategy to produce 10 million tons of maize annually, the Defense Force has been assigned to produce a production target of 2 million tons, representing 20% of the total. In line with this target, the Zambia Army, Zambia Air Force, ZAF, and the Zambia National Service, ZNS, have mobilized equipment and technical personnel to agricultural sites across the country, cultivating 967 hectares of maize in the current season. According to Ministry of Defense Permanent Secretary Mambo Hamaundu, who spoke during a ZNBC TV1 program titled Defense Maize Project, the Zambia Army alone has cultivated 103 hectares in Solwezi with an expected yield of 500 metric tons and an additional 3 hectares in the Makeni farm in Lusaka. Diversification efforts at the Makeni site also include bananas, avocados, Irish potatoes, and tomatoes. Mr. Hamaundu further notes that the Zambia Air Force has cultivated 900 hectares across key farms in Imbala, Mumbwa, Chisamba, and Lufwanyama, projecting a yield of 7,200 metric tons. Meanwhile, Mr. Hamaundu says in Imbala, 600 hectares were planted across 3 farms, Polygon, Munyeuzi, and Base, with an expected output of 4,800 metric tons. He reveals that ZAF has also diversified into livestock and crop production, with 48 cattle and 50 hectares allocated to beans at Imbala. Mr. Hamaundu says additional beef and poultry production is ongoing at Mumbwa and Chisamba farms, with 229 and 114 cattle respectively, and a poultry stock of 10,000 birds at Chisamba. Meanwhile, the Zambia National Service has planted 1,550 hectares of rain-fed maize and 1,414 hectares of irrigated maize. Mr. Hamaundu explains that ZNS aims to harvest 7,750 metric tons from the rain-fed crop and 14,150 metric tons from the irrigated crop, totaling 21,900 metric tons. The irrigated fields, which are more productive due to controlled conditions, are located in areas such as Musankamba in Mukushi, Airport Farm in Lusaka, Musakashi Mufulira, and Mangonga in Kaoma and in Pika, along with additional projects in fish farming and ranching in Kafiwe, Gwembe, Mukushi, and in Choma. Mr. Hamaundu further echoes that the Zambia Defense Force has made significant strides in responding to the President's directive and is poised to become a vital player in ensuring the country's food security going forward. We go for our first break. Join us on the other side as we bring to you more in local stories. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Zambia, a land of breathtaking natural wonders and diverse cultures. Home to the Victoria Falls, one of the 7 wonders of the world. Zambia boasts a rich cultural heritage, captivating wildlife, and a promising future. Zambia is a nation rich in both history and modernity. In the heart of Zambia lies Lusaka, the capital and largest city located in the southern part of the Central Plateau. Lusaka is one of the fastest developing cities in southern Africa. With a population of about 3.3 million, Lusaka is a center of both commercial and government in Zambia and connects to the country's 4 main highways, heading north, south, east, and west. Lusaka has several cultural facilities such as museums and galleries, which include Lusaka National Museum and Henry Tayali Gallery. The city also has several parks such as Mundawanga Environmental Park, Lusaka National Park, and Chaminuka Nature Reserve that offer visitors a chance to see wildlife up close. Within this dynamic city lies the Information and Communications University, ICU, a place where educational traditions merge with future-focused learning, a place where innovation and research thrive. With a commitment to providing industrial-oriented academic qualifications, ICU stands as a beacon of higher learning education in Zambia, serving over 5,000 students on both distance and full-time learning modes. But what sets ICU apart? It's our core values. At ICU, we cherish freedom of thought and expression, foster innovativeness and creativity, uphold good governance integrity, promote teamwork.
Thank you very much for still staying with us. We continue with our local stories. More than 20 families in Chipiola Township, Lunazi, have been left without shelter following their eviction over a land ownership dispute. The eviction was carried out after the court ruled in favor of Duncan Nyirenda, who claimed the rightful ownership of the land. Mr. Nyirenda states that the family settled on the land after acquiring it from unauthorized individuals, despite his repeated warnings regarding its legal status and plans for redevelopment. He told Kanele 97.7 FM that the land has now been earmarked for development and maintenance, and maintained that he had advised the occupants to evacuate. Meanwhile, the displaced families are appealing to the government for intervention, saying they were deceived by the sellers and now face uncertainty and hardships. Thank you.
Nina mekipanda inabwera muno mu 2017 after nafika muno mu Rundazi 2017 pamene nachita acquire plot. After nachita acquire plot napona mangapo ka mdindo first. Second year mu 2018 nabona fakapo na ndani kani ya mablock na mume wake. Mu 2018 kunalibe chongo chili chonse. 2019 no chongo chili chonse. 2020 chongo futi kunalida. Kufika mu 2021 pamene tinabwatamba kumvera kuti amalo amene munagula ni andani kani ni avene bwanji ati yayi amalo bene bake bachipyola benze na bakazi babiri. So amene benze na bakazi babiri banabwera bagaba amalo ati ngati choka ku Chamalo kwenda ku town ku Lungazi River. Wanakamba kuti ku left hand side ni abandani kani ati aba bana ba mu mimba ingono. Then ku right hand side wanakamba kuti ni amu ba mimba ku. So tunapata kaba so ngati chili so nishi au kama kuti tikambe kuti tinakula ndani kani malo ya ndani kani ya kuba ya iligo. Veva nakamba kuti ati yadali yakuba vene ndani kani mimba ikulu malo yawo yanali kumwa kusogolo kujazi yuko kundani kani ku Chamalodi not kuno ku down konse malo yawo ndani kani ya mimba ing'ono. So chinapacha chidabwisa maningi no wanda chinapata kupitiza kutandani kani kumanga after na mangai.
Leader of the opposition in parliament, Robert Chavinga, is expected to be summoned by police over alleged threats issued against Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba and Dr. Sishua. Police Public Relations spokesperson Ray Hamonga says the inquiry follows a report filed by Chilubi Member of Parliament Francis Fowe, who alleged that Mr. Chavinga proposed violence during a live press briefing on Kalemba Media on July 20th, 2025. Mr. Hamonga explains that Mr. Chavinga was allegedly seen and heard threatening to deal with the two individuals over articles perpetrated damaging to his reputation. He adds that the police have since opened an inquiry file and that Mr. Chavinga will be summoned to assist with investigations. Mr. Hamonga has urged all parties to remain calm and allow the law to take its course.
The Zambia Police Service at Lusaka Central Police Station has opened an inquiry file following a report made yesterday, the 22nd of July 2025 at 14 hours by Honorable Francis Mulenga Fube, aged 50 of plot number 21330 Chamba Valley in Lusaka. He is also a Patriotic Front member for Chilubi constituency. Honorable Fube reported that Honorable Robert Chavinga, also a PF member of parliament representing Mafinga constituency, did propose violence by allegedly issuing threats aimed at Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba and former investor of Zambia lecturer Dr. Sishua. These threats were reportedly made during a press briefing conducted via an online live broadcast on Kalemba Media platform on the 20th of July 2025 around 10 hours. According to the report, Honorable Chavinga was seen and heard during the live broadcast allegedly threatening to deal with Mr. Emmanuel Mwamba and Dr. Sishua, accusing them of circulating damaging articles against him. This conduct prompted Honorable Fube to report the matter to the police. In light of this, the Zambia Police Service wishes to inform the public that Honorable Robert Chavinga will be summoned to assist with investigations as part of the ongoing inquiry. We urge all involved parties to remain calm and allow the due process.
The Ministry of Education in Copperbelt Province has confirmed steady progress in the construction of 15 new secondary schools aimed at improving access to education in the region. Provincial Principal Education Standards Officer, Mr. Nyambe Sefulo, stated that the schools are being built under the Zambia Education Enhancement Project, ZEEP, with funding support from the World Bank. Mr. Sefulo explained that the new facilities will help reduce overcrowding in existing schools and expand classroom space, enhancing the learning environment for students. Speaking on the ministry's official platform, EduTalk Zone, Mr. Sefulo emphasized government's dedication to ensuring inclusive and quality education for all learners. He adds that the project aligns with the national goal of raising education standards and equipping learners with the foundation needed for further success.
I've been waiting to hear from you. And I've been watching over you. When you woke up this morning, I was ready to hear from you, but you woke up and chose to devote your time to the multitudes that couldn't be less bothered by your misery. I knew you when you took your first breath, knew you when no one else did. I stood by you on your first day of school, and stood by you when you felt burdened by the troubles of this world. I knew you, my child, and I was there for you through it all. I've been watching over you, and I've been listening as you speak. When you wake up each morning, I wait and listen, hoping you would let me in on the plans you have set for the day. Why won't you just let me in and have me be a part of your life? Cause my child, I've been watching, hoping that you will invite me in and let me be there with you every step of the way, trusting that I know what's best for you and would never lead you astray. I've been listening to every little wish you make, and I've been waiting on you though, waiting for you to finally finish those public charades you pull in my name so that we can finally have a heart-to-heart, you and I, waiting for you to welcome me into that very heart you've already deemed irredeemable so that I may renew it, waiting for you to finally listen to all the things I say to you on a daily basis, the pleas, the warning, the advice. My child, I am still waiting. Holding on to the fear of losing you, I wait and wait and wait, hoping that you'll be ready though before it is too late. Cause my child, I've been listening to you make wishes about how you wanna be rich by 24, married by 26, and crowned best of the best by 30, wondering how exactly you think you've got it down all on your own. I've been listening, waiting to hear the part where you finally mention my name. The part where you mention that you're gonna trust me. The part where you shout, I have a Father in heaven who will guide me through it all, clearing the path before it is even in sight.
Thank you very much for still staying with us, and now we continue with international news. The son of a woman killed in the Air India plane crash has told BBC other remains were found in her casket after the body was returned to the UK. Nitin Patel, whose father also died in the crash, said the coroner identified the mixed up remains and left him to worry how many others are in there. The Daily Mail reported on Wednesday that the wrong bodies were being sent to loved ones following the crash, which killed 260 people shortly after takeoff in the early June. All remains were handled with utmost professionalism and dignity, India's foreign ministry said, and it is working with the UK officials to address concerns. Still in international news, President Donald Trump says the US has agreed to a massive trade deal with Japan, one of the country's largest trade partners. Japan has agreed to invest $550 billion in the US, while its goods sold to America would be taxed at 15% when they reach the country, below the 25% tariff Trump had threatened. Trump said on social media that Japan would open its economy to US goods, including cars, trucks, rice, and certain agricultural products. Japan's Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba welcomed the announcement, saying that it was the lowest figure to date among countries with trade surplus with the US. Switching to our sports news, Venus Williams becomes the second oldest woman to win a WTA tour-level singles match by beating Peyton Stearns at the Washington Open. Williams, 45, overcame world number 35 and fellow American stands, who is 22 years her junior, 6-3, 6-4 in the first round. Williams is the oldest woman to win a single match on tour since Martina Navratilova at the age of 47 in 2004. Seven-time singles Grand Slam winner Williams, who gained entry to the tournament via wild card, had not played since March 2024. And that sports item brings us to the end of today's news. But before we go, let's take a quick look at stories that made headlines. FIC reports $3.1 billion in illicit financial flows in 2024. ZRA seizes 300 cases of smuggled cognac beer. Government committed to ending load shedding. And in international news, Air India crash victim's son says he received wrong remains. In our sports news, Venus Williams, 45, becomes world's second oldest winner. Thank you very much for choosing to watch Icutv. Remember, you can find us on all social media platforms, or you can visit our website, that's www.icutvzm.net, for more news. This has been Emmanuel Zimba, and I say stay blessed.